singer-songwriter, proud ambassador of gospel music, Busi Mahlaba takes us on a spiritual journey with her latest release, Sabela. Her smoothing vocals, meaningful lyrics offer a compelling message of hope and devotion, inviting listeners to embrace God's love and to find peace in His presence. A highly decorated artist continuing to expand her artistic horizons with her beautiful music, uplifting the souls, of course, of all those who've heard it. So to tell us a little bit more, we're going to be joined in studio by gospel artist Busi Mahlaba. Busi, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the SABC at this hour.
Good morning, ma'am, and thank you for having me today.
Well, Busi, let's get into this latest offering of yours, Sabela, encouraging us to open our hearts to God. I wonder if you could speak about your personal journey that has, culminated in this offering.
All right, ma'am, thank you. So I started doing music a long time ago in church. I was part of a worshiping team. And then in 2020, apologies. And then in 2010, we formed a group called Just Busani Just Gospel, and we released an album called Olulamile. All right. And then in 2012, I started doing my music on my own. Then I released my single album, my first single album. Yes, called Nyegeleni Mkonze. And in 2016, I released my second solo album, Peace in Africa. That album won me an award for Ingoma Best African Gospel Artist. And it was also nominated for Dibila Piting for Best Slave and Best Female Artist.
And so when you release your music and you see how well it's received, by South Africans, by the continent as well, does that inspire you to want to make more music?
It does, ma'am. It does. Or even if there are so many challenges, especially when you are an independent artist, because you have to do all things by yourself. It's not easy. You have to learn the industry. But yes, the response that I get from people is the one that is encouraging me to want to do more music.
And what is that response? I mean, also with Sabela now being released, what's that feedback that you've got, and how have you managed to touch people's hearts and help them open up to God?
All right. So I tend to get feedback from people saying that they love the music. I shall continue doing music, and I get to be invited, at radio stations, and that shows that my music does something to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do get response from people.
So you're speaking about the challenges of being an independent artist in South Africa, your own personal journey that's obviously led to Sabela's release. Are you able to speak about some of those challenges that you've had to overcome in yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. First of all, you need to have money to do your music. When you go to the studio to record, you need to pay there at the studio. You need to pay your backing vocalist. It's not easy. You want to make a video for your music, you still need money to do that. I want to go to radio stations to ask for an interview. I need money to travel. So being just an artist, it's difficult. It's even better if you are working and you are an artist at the same time.
No, absolutely. But when you get on stage, when you do manage to perform, when you have that live interactions with your fans, when they send that feedback, how does that feel you? How does that also, how do you, interact? How does that intimate space help you to keep going?
It makes me feel well, ma'am. I feel happy. Just standing there in front of people and speaking about God's love. It makes me feel complete.
Speaking about the subject matter, because you're a gospel artist and you've obviously found your niche at this point. Talk to us about, whether there's going to be expansion. What else can we expect from you on that front? Or are you going to be sticking to the genre?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't know what future is holding for me.
Okay.
But what I'm promising is more music from me. And obviously when I sing about God. So I'll be sticking to this genre, but I'm looking forward to work with other artists from different genres, because with me, ma'am, you do my piano, I do gospel. We'll turn that my piano into my piano gospel.
Yes.
If you do hip hop, we'll turn it into hip hop gospel.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to work with other artists.
Speaking about working with other artists and also just incorporating your unique flair. I mean, you're loudly and proudly South African, and your background would have influenced you as well. What are some of those sounds and styles that you've picked up and incorporated into your gospel genre?
I like African style. I do African music. I listen most to African artists. Yes, ma'am. So when you listen to my music, you'll hear that I'm African.
Yes, and when you look at the contribution that you and some of the other artists have, from South Africa, from the continent, have made to the global stage, what do you think is so unique about South Africa in contributing to the world's music stage?
I think they just keep the African thing. I don't know how to put it.
Yes.
Yes, I think that is what takes them out there. Yes.
And so when we look at what's to come, I mean, I know you mentioned you're not sure what the future holds in terms of some of the collaborations, but if people want to find you, find out more information about you as well, where you're performing, etc., how do they go about doing that? What else can they also look forward to from you in the near future, at least?
All right, ma'am. So I'm available on social media, on Facebook. I'm Busi Mahlaba, Peace in Africa. And I'm also available on TikTok, Busani Music 83. And my email address is busanimusic@gmail.com. In future, people should just expect more music from me, ma'am. That's what I'll say.
How has TikTok changed the game for you as an artist, as a musician as well? Do you interact with it regularly? How do you also interact with the new generation as well? What's been your experience on that front?
So it does help a lot because according to me, it's very quick for you to get to people. Like a lot of people get to see what you're doing fast when you put things on TikTok.
I'm looking at your outfit, and it's clear that you're not just limited to music alone. You're an artist at large. Talk to us about the style, the inspiration as well on that front. Some of the other artistic endeavors that you dabble in.
All right. Oh, I love my dress, ma'am.
It's beautiful, and it's definitely got an African shwe print inspired. So talk us through what the inspiration was behind that as well, just as an artist.
All right, ma'am. Like I've mentioned earlier on, I'm an African artist.
Yes.
So as you can see my attire, there's an African print there.
Yes.
So I just mixed it, to spice it up.
Yes.
But yes, the idea is to remain African.
All right, so we're going to leave the conversation there. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your music. And we're wishing you all the best of luck with your future endeavors. Thank you for healing our hearts as a nation, as a continent as well.